I pray that there will be a deal to free all the hostages and his government will be in power, because freeing the hostage is more important for with Bibi leaving this power. And after the hostage will be free, I will continue protest.
Yemini for Rebel News in Hostage Square, Tel Aviv, where thousands have gathered for their weekly End the War, Release the Hostages protest against the current Israeli government. We're here to find out why. Is it really as it's portrayed and as they're portrayed in the Australian media?
My view is that this war needs to stop.
At what cost?
At what cost? It's a big question. At what cost? But the war needs to stop, and we need to find a way to end it, to come to a deal, to finish it, and to change the regime in Gaza, and to have security for the people in Israel. And I hope so security also for the people on the other side, for the Palestinians. And both of the nations need to live together and to find a way to compromise about territory. And both of the sides need to respect the other side.
More than 900 soldiers were killed. For what? What happened? Which victory do we have there? Every time they declare about another operation and another operation. 6 soldiers were dying for whom? For this government?
They killed soldiers every day there because it's easy. They just open a window and shoot, and that's why we got out of there. Because we don't.
That's a kind of a distortion. The disengagement from Gaza,
What?
Ariel Sharon, the whole disengagement from Gaza was a very political thing at the time. It wasn't about the shooting.
No. It's about no.
It wasn't about the guerrilla warfare. It was a lot of pressure internationally, which people at the time were very upset about.
No. It's not right. It's not correct. That was the situation. They were killing our soldiers. It's true that also the Prime Minister, Ariel Sharon, has had private affairs and he wanted to, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that he changed.
If that was the reason why they did it, then they would have disengaged from the West Bank as well. What would you say to critics that would argue that essentially these kind of protests is actually encouraging Hamas not to reach a deal because they look at it and they go, the pressure on the Israeli government internally is growing?
Yeah, so actually they are correct. But the situation here that Hamas already agreed to the deal and the Israel government keep sabotaging the deal time after time.
They don't care. They are monsters who don't care about the hostages. They don't care about, they say, first we conquered Gaza, then we make a real estate there with the Americans. I mean, you're looking at these people and you think, I'm in a nightmare, endless nightmare. It's a movie, horror movie.
How do you feel about these protests?
I think they're good people. I think they really care about the hostages, and everybody does. I think they're misled.
The protest should be against Hamas. They are holding the hostages, not against the government of Israel.
In Australia, they portray your protests as almost aligned with the pro-Palestinian protests around the world, which is clearly not necessarily true.
For sure not. We are Israeli patriots and fighting for our country while having a crazy government, totally lunatic, that you see what happened to us in the last 2.5 years.
I have children and grandchildren here. I do care about this country, but right now, I'm telling you, it's like a horror movie since 7th of October.
We love this country. It doesn't mean we love the government and the people that make the decisions. And you can see all the people in here that come to support the hostages, and they don't agree with nothing the government has supported. So they need to understand it's not the same thing, the government and the people in Israel.
The older son of our prime minister is sitting in a spa in Florida for the last 2 years. If he would be kidnapped and hostages, I give you 1 day and 2 days, and the whole deal was, first of all, we would have changed the hostages, and then maybe we attack them.
Prior to October 7, obviously, there was a big protest movement against...
Yeah, I was part of it.
Did you used to go to the protests before October 7, the reform protest?
I did.
Before, of course, always.
So you went to the judicial reform protest?
Against the, how do you say, the revolution they wanted to make in the law system. And I went against Netanyahu.
There are many people that are using this as a vehicle, as a excuse to defeat, to demonstrate the government that they are taking the hostage as a legitimate cause, which is a legitimate cause.
What would you say to people who think that this movement is really just an anti-Netanyahu movement and it's not about the hostages and it's not about...
No, of course, it's just, first of all, for the hostages, to support the families, because wherever I come to here or to other protests, I think I'm coming there to support the families. What if it was me?
I can tell you myself, I cannot go into the hearts of other people and tell you why are they here. I can tell you I am here for the hostage. And there are other protests which are anti the current government, which are also protest. But when I go to the hostage protest, I do it for the hostage.
I am inspired by Israel, once again, in the fact that I'm walking around, I'm asking questions that is super critical of these people's perspective on this, something you could not get away with in most Western countries. At a time of war, at a heightened emotional point.
You know why? Because we have a national emotion, like we feel like a people. And
that's why you're seeing Israeli flags, even on the left.
Yeah, because what the far left, very far left, wants to destroy in everywhere is this emotional, national emotion, like feel like a people. When you have a thing like that, you have less crime, and you have less crime here. Like murder rates are extremely low, even though you have terror attacks.
I get some of the best conversations at an Israeli protest because it's the only place where people vehemently disagree and hate Bibi and want to stop him, and other people are pro, and they could still be in the same place and not attack each other physically.
That is my amazing takeaway tonight. I've never felt safer at a left-wing protest in my life. If you think it's important for the world to see what the protests here in Tel Aviv are really about, not what the ABC News in Australia tell you it's about, make sure to like, comment and share it far and wide. And then if you support our mission here on the ground, head to israeluncut.com and consider chipping in to help us cover the cost of being here and the live streaming and the producing. israeluncut.com, we can't do it without you.
Yeah. And if you're watching this at home, nothing anyone says to me about Israel will ever make me feel different about Israel, because I'm in Israel and I see the people, and the only place that you can find a Palestinian selling kosher shawarma is in Israel. In America or Australia, you won't even be allowed into the restaurant.